tutorial on how to make the Happy Days Draught Excluder. And this is how you make it. You will need 6 squares cut out. I've done 3 in one colour and 3 in another, but it's completely up to you how you want to make the colour scheme. You need to cut out 2 handles, you need a piece of fabric for the back, and you need some filling. If you want to make your draught excluder longer than the one we've made, just cut some extra squares. Take your fabric squares and decide the order you want to sew them together. I'm doing alternate patterns. If you are using directional fabric, make sure that they all point the same way. Take your first 2 fabrics and place them right sides together. Line up all the sides and edges and clip into place. I've clipped it along the right hand edge, and I'm going to take it to the sewing machine, and I'm going to start there and using a 1/4 inch seam allowance, sew all along there and stop. I've sewn all along there, joining the first 2 squares. So open it up, take your 3rd square and pop it on there, line up all the edges, and again clip all along the right hand side. I've clipped it, and now I'm going to take it to the sewing machine as we did before, and starting there, sew all the way down there. I've sewn all along. Now I'm going to open it up, get my 4th square and place it right sides together, and again line up all the sides and edges, clip, and then we're going to sew all along there. I've repeated the process and I've now got all 6 joined up. If you want to make your draught excluder longer than mine, just add some more squares. I've pressed open all the seams, and now I'm going to place it on top of the fabric I've chosen for the back of my draught excluder. I'm going to use lots and lots of pins to stop it moving, and then I'm going to cut close to the edge all the way around. Once you've pinned it securely into place, the next stage is to cut all the way around close to the edge, and this way you'll have a perfect size back for your draught excluder. Once you've cut round it, take your pins out and separate the 2 pieces of fabric. Now put these 2 fabrics to one side while we work on the handle. Now we're making the handles. Place your handle fabrics right sides together, match up all the edges, and then clip all along there and all along there. I've clipped it, and I'm going to take it to the sewing machine, and I'm going to start there and use a 1/4 inch seam allowance, sew all along there and stop, and start there and sew all along there and stop. I'm not sewing the ends. I've sewn all along there and all along there, leaving both ends open, and now I'm going to turn it the right way. I've turned it the right way, I've pressed it, and I've top stitched all along that edge and all along that edge. And now I'm going to fold it in half, and I'm going to tack quite close to the edge along there. Take your chain of squares and decide which end you'd like your handle to hang from. I'm going to put mine on the plain side because I've got a patterned handle, and fold in half and just make a light crease there. Open it up and do the same on your handle, and this is just to determine where the centre is, and then place that crease and that crease together and make sure that your handle is facing downwards, and then clip into place. I've clipped the handle facing down into place, and now I'm going to take it to the machine and I'm going to tack it into place. I've tacked the handle into place facing down, and now take the other piece of fabric that you cut out earlier and place right sides together on top. I've clipped all the way around, and I'm going to take it to the sewing machine and I'm going to sew all the way around, remembering to leave a 10cm gap at the opposite end to where your handle is. I've sewn all the way around. I'm going to clip each of the corners, and then I'm going to turn it the right way through the gap I left at the bottom. We're almost finished. All that's left is to fill your draught excluder with your filling. And once you've done that, sew up the gap. I've added the filling and I've made sure that it pushes right up into the corners. I've closed up the gap by sewing across, and that's your draught excluder all finished.